All right, so if you're watching this video now, then you've gone through the squat assessment and the single leg assessment. Now we're going to talk about putting the information together so we can identify what's really causing the knee pain that you're going through when you're running, and then the best plan to help eliminate that pain. All right, so the first was the squat assessment. So there's typically one of two scenarios that's going to happen. One, when you did the assessment, if you felt it all in the top of your thighs, right in your quadriceps, or you felt like most of it there, a lot of times it feels like it's burning in there, or they're really working right there. What this means in almost all cases is that you have weakness in the muscles of your hips. So every time you push off the ground when you're running, every time you stride, you drive off the ground, the muscles in your hips are designed to produce most of the force you need to push off the ground. Now, when your hips are weak, they're not going to be doing that job. So what happens in this case is that the quadriceps start to take on that workload. They're overcompensating. And the problem with this is that the quadriceps, they attach to the lower extremity right over the kneecap through the patellar tendon. So when the quads are overworking, they're creating a lot of pressure and stress to the knee through over that patellar tendon, okay? So that's what happens in that case. So you can see how the knee pain that you feel, if you're a quad dominant, meaning that you felt the quads a lot, those quads are overworking, how that can cause knee pain, but that's just the symptom. The real issue is that your hips are weak. So by addressing the main issue, strengthening those muscles in the hips, we can help alleviate the amount of work that the quadriceps are having to do and help remedy that knee pain. Okay, so the second scenario is that you might have felt it all in the back of the thigh, in your hamstrings, or even close to like the back of the knee around the calf. So this is the opposite. This would be when you're hamstring dominant, but it happens for the same reason. Typically the hip muscles are weak, they're not doing their job, and the hamstrings are overcompensating. So how this works with knee pain is that the hamstrings, the tendons attached to your lower leg, right? And what they do is they kind of wrap around, like around the back of the knee, around the side, and then a little bit toward the front of the lower leg. So basically what happens here is when they're overworking, there's a lot of stress that's created through those tendons. And what that stress does, because those tendons are very close to your knee joint. So when there's a lot of stress happening and a lot of work happening there, it creates some shear at the knee joint. So again, you could feel stress and pain at the knee, but the problem isn't your knee. It's because you have certain muscles that are overworking for, again, weak muscles at the hip. So our primary emphasis here is strengthening the muscles of the hips, which we're going to talk about in the next video, all right? Now, if you did the single leg assessment, all this really is this just gives you a better idea of your stronger side and your weaker side. So if you had done the assessment on your right leg and you were really wobbly, or maybe you fell, or you felt a lot of stress going in the knee and you didn't feel it on the left side so much, or even vice versa, this gives you an idea. And typically one of two things happens. The side that you're imbalanced on, or that you feel a lot of the pain on, either is because it's overworking and it's causing a lot of stress, or because it's weak. And in either case, what this means is that the wrong muscles are working or trying to work, and the knee is experiencing a lot of the stress, all right? So that's what these assessments basically mean in a nutshell. Now, the next videos in the series, we're gonna talk about our next step in the plan, how we're going to deal with the specific program and exercises to eliminate the root cause of the knee pain. So we're going to talk a lot about that. Now, if you're watching this video on YouTube, the only way you're going to know when the next videos are up is by clicking or pushing on that subscribe button up above my head here. So if you don't subscribe, then you're not going to know when I post the next videos, and you're not going to get them. So hit that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching this video on my blog, then the only way you're going to know when I post the next videos in this series is by entering your name and your email up in the box up above here, and get on my newsletter list. Now, Once you do that, as soon as I post the next video up, you're going to get an email letting you know, hey, the next video in this series is up, and I'll have a link in that email where you can come and check it out. All right, and also there's another bonus though included. If you subscribe right now on my newsletter list, I'll also give you the 10 tips to overcoming almost any running injury that you might be going through. So everything from shin splints to plantar fasciitis to hip, knee, low back problems to runner's knee to hamstring pulls, all of them. You name it, that's what you're going to get. So go ahead and sign up now if you're watching this on the blog, and then you'll get that. Plus, I'll let you know exactly the minute that I post the next video in the series. All right, so hopefully this helps you out. And the next video, I will see you then, and we'll talk a little bit more.